one of the questions I get asked on a regular basis is, how did you build your Instagram and your TikTok following? And in this video, I'm going to explain how I did that. I'm going to tell you my story, and I'm also going to tell you why I've stopped making content on Instagram and TikTok. But yeah, basically what happened was in 2021, I got back onto self-improvement, and I wanted to make money somehow, right? And I learned that making money online is like the best way to do it. You need to like create some sort of content. And I always thought, like, I didn't know what I wanted to make, but I knew I wanted to use my time to like make something, because I'd always thought, I thought back to like 20, I think it was 2015 or something like that. I made like when Instagram was still popping back then with like the pictures, I made like a Barcelona fan page, and I posted for a bit, and then I just stopped for whatever reason. And I was just thinking, like, if you have like a page that you just been posting regularly over like 10 years, surely you'll have like some kind of following, right? You'd have like a sort of a sizable following. So using that mentality, I was like, let me just make something, right? Like, so I thought to myself, what am I interested in right now? And it was, at that moment, it was Fantasy Premier League. So I was like, okay, I'll make Fantasy Premier League content, right? And I was doing like the follow for follow strategy, and it wasn't work. It worked. Like I was very persistent with it. But Instagram made it really difficult because they don't want you to do follow for follow. They don't want you to gain followers organically. They want you to spend money on marketing. So they make it really difficult. They will give you like limits on how many people you can follow a day. But I made it work. I got to like 5,000 followers within like a year. But yeah, I started with that, but I wanted something more. I wanted to create an account based on like lifestyle, because I knew like personal brand is definitely like the biggest thing nowadays. Like personal brand is what you can make your money off of. If people like you, they'll buy from you. Or even not just buying from you, even just watching like YouTube videos and you get like AdSense from it or whatever it is. Like people liking you and having a sizable following online it's decent. It's really good for you. So I wanted to do something surrounding lifestyle, but I wasn't sure exactly what to do what to do it on. But I knew I was into like fitness and eating well and everything, so I just started posting pictures. It was little like, and I just put like text. I remember I made a post about how I started meditating because it was good for my mindset and it would help me with binge eating, because I was struggling with binge eating that at that time. And it wasn't anything crazy. Like the post went great, right? But I started watching this guy, which if you want to get like a quick following, I suggest you do follow him. Although this advice is also, it's quite scammy, but it works. But also, it has some downsides to it, which is why I stopped doing it. But if you want to gain like a quick following, I'd suggest you watch this guy called Robert Benjamin. He's pretty good. Like I started following all of his content, and he started saying that you need to be posting reels, right? If you want to grow fast, you have to post reels. And for me, it was just, I didn't want to do reels because it just seemed like so high effort and everything. I was just like, I was just too lazy to do it. But he did say you can repost. You could download people's videos without them watermark. You could use like a website and then you just repost them. And I started doing that. So I was posting 3 times a day, or four times a day. It was three photos and one reposted Instagram reel. And then I started, I was doing that. I was doing that for a bit, and then eventually I started switching to creating more reels. The switch that I did make was, I realized, I was like, okay, at that moment you need to make like 7-second clips. Those were like the ones that were popping off. So I was like, okay, I'll record a 7-second clip of me doing push-ups and then put like a cheap little motivational quote over it. And that's what I started doing. I just started doing that. And that's one of the most important things you can do when you're doing social media. Is just start and just feel your way as you go. Then eventually I learned, and this is the scammy advice, it's controversial, but that's what works. That's literally what works, what gets you so many followers. And he said that you need to take all the popular videos and then just remake them. So I wasn't making like talking content, like videos or whatever. I was making like just text videos. You record myself doing a workout in the background and I put a motivational quote over it, right? And I was beginning to like the gym motivation kind of content. So I was like, okay, I found my niche. And I started doing that. And basically I did that for the whole year. And that's what gave me like so many followers. And one thing I have to say is that I was very, very consistent. 3 videos a day, every single day for like the whole year. That's what I did. And that's what got me there. The only day I missed was the one day when we had load shedding. For those of you that don't live in South Africa, our country basically doesn't have enough power supply. So we have like 4-hour power cuts a day. Although I think I had a fault, so my electricity was gone the whole day, so I couldn't post. I literally couldn't. But apart from that, I posted every single day, right? So I did that, and I gained my followers. I gained like over 500K on TikTok, which is flipping useless, by the way. That's one of the main reasons I stopped like making short form content, especially on TikTok. But I did gain 150k, over 150k on. Well, I had 170k on Instagram. And I started losing followers. I don't know what's happening with Instagram and TikTok, but I've just left it. I've gained over. I've got an audience of over 150k, which is very solid. Like if you want to do that, like it's this advice I'm giving you. I'm going to tell you why it's not like that great, but it's still great for building just like a following. Like I've used that to get. I've just posted on my story every time I post, and I've got like 1.5k on this YouTube channel. Like that's helped a lot. But yeah, if you're trying to do anything, like building a personal brand will do wonders for you. Just having a personal brand, if you have people that like you, they will buy from you, they'll watch your videos, right? And you can build a business off of that. You can make like proper money from that. So if you want to do like this method and you just build a following, even though it's a little bit scammy, and I'm gonna get into why that's not very great. Like especially with TikTok and Instagram, with short form content, if you're using like this kind of content where you're copying things that are going viral, the one thing is that everyone is doing that. Like all the people that are popular, they're copying each other, right? And when people that aren't like in the content creation space realize that, it's kind of, I remember I saw this happening in like 2020 when I was scrolling through TikTok. I remember seeing this guy who made like comedy skits, and people were saying that he's copying. And when I found it out, it rubbed me up the wrong way, and understandably. But realistically, if you want to get popular on TikTok, on Instagram, you need to do that, because the way the algorithm works is that if you make a video or like a text that it's familiar, it's been posted before, and the platform knows it's doing well, it's going to promote yours as well. And that's just how you gain followers. That's how you gain followers very quickly. But the problem with gaining followers that quickly, and also using like this method, is that because like everyone else is doing it, you're just another like face on the platform. You really are. And your followers that you have, especially the ones on TikTok, you don't build like a proper connection. It's different to like YouTube. It's again the reason why would you rather have. I heard the story about this TikToker. She had 1.2 million followers on TikTok, and she did a meetup. She did a meetup, and no one showed up. Like nobody. 1.2 million followers, and nobody bothered to show up to TikTok, to nobody bothered to show up to her conference, whatever she was holding, right? And that's because the TikTok followers mean nothing. And why is that? Because it's short form content. You're not really building a relationship with the creator, as you might have when you're doing Instagram. You more so, because you've obviously got like Instagram stories, and that helps a bit. But it's also kind of similar. Like you're not really building like the best connection with your followers, but the stories help a lot. But YouTube is like the best one, because obviously you're watching videos, you're watching like long form videos, and that's why I stopped making short form content. I realized, other than the fact that it got stale, like copying the same content over and over again, you're regurgitating what thousands of other accounts are posting. You're not really gonna build anything like serious with that. But again, if you just want to build like a quick following, like if I was to tell you now, would you just want like an extra 150k on your Instagram? Of course you'd say yes, right? And it would really help, and that's what I've got now after like a year of hard work. But for long term, it's not the best. It's not the best. That's why I've started focusing completely on YouTube now. Because yeah, I can build like there's a concept called 1,000 true fans. I first heard it from Ali Abdaal in like 2021, where it's like if you want to build a business, you need 1,000 true fans. So that's 1,000 people that would buy. If you set up something where you have to pay like a $5 subscription every month, they'll pay it. If you create merch, they'll buy it. That's 1,000 true fans. Now, to get 1,000 true fans, you need to have like a pretty sizable following, because obviously not everyone's going to be like a hardcore fan. But you're more likely to do that off of long form content like this rather than short form content, and that's why I stopped doing that. But yeah, that's basically my story on how I built that kind of following on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, do with it what you will. If you want to hit the subscribe button to join the Self-Improvement Brotherhood, go ahead. Until next time, I'll see you, bro.